How was your weekend, guy? How's your week without me?
No, actually, we saw some things about you.
Yes, you had an incident with a fashion designer, and I know it didn't go down well.
It did
I'm
not.
sorry about what happened.
Me too.
Are you
but
okay?
I mean, old news. We've forgotten him. We look good. We look great. So let's carry on.
Over the weekend, we even saw some videos from him. Interesting accent over there. Which country is that accent from?
Bridgerton. It's Bridgerton.
It's Bridgerton.
It's Bridgerton.
You look fabulous. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you so much. It's an actual designer. So the Twitter feed was looking rather nostalgic over the past weekend, and tweeps took to the streets to recount some of their most iconic moments in pop culture, the places and things that we loved, and some of the places that we lost along the way. With the phrase, "You just had to be there." At Banalesi came for everyone with this one. Take a look. There's Samsung.
Oh,
there's
mix it! Oh, that's where it all
guys.
started.
But it wasn't on a Samsung. Wasn't that a BlackBerry thing?
No.
Oh, no, I don't know.
It was
Anyway.
back then.
So what are some of your had to be there moments?
I had to dig deep. And remind people of 2 a.m. in Melville. Cat's pajamas. Sure.
The pizza, guys. The pizza is only good drunk.
But
You have to be a
the
bit
thing is, I ask people around, I'm like, we always say that the pizza from Cat's Pajamas was great, but who has ever tasted it?
Sober.
I have many
that's
times.
the
And how was
DJ,
it?
not
Oh, it
the
was
DJ.
great, especially at that time of the morning. Delicious.
Okay, my personal, you just had to be there, guys. The fury, the chaos, Y2K. What was going on with us? Why were we so stressed about this year?
We thought that the computers won't recognize 2000.
Yeah.
We thought
or
it was.
we would die.
We're so weird, and people were stocking up
I know.
baked beans and thinking the world is ending. The world has been ending.
We are just so obsessed with doom and gloom. But listen, one of my faves has to be this one, all right? 1996.
You were the only one who was there.
The Africa Cup of Nations. You just had to be there to witness Bafana win this tournament on home ground, right at the dawn of our democracy. This is exactly
you there in
the
the
kind
blue?
of win.
Is that you in the
see, that's me standing
Is that
next to
you
the
in the
president.
blue?
Yes, that's me. Can't you see me in the back?
Oh, flavor.
I
What
still
is it?
remember the song. Helmen Kelele. Ay. I remember that.
That is the only...
You don't know that.
No, I don't. I know. Ole.
No ways, guys.
Let me tell you, that is the only Bafana team we recognize.
Yes.
That team that won that tournament. So, as you can see, our generation is not shy when it comes to taking trips down memory lane. And I'm just kind of wondering, what is it with this, obsession when it comes to just, obsessing over going down memory lane, obsessing over those days that gone by, that went by? Is it that we are currently not enjoying the lives we live? Why do we keep talking about the past so much? Is it not the future maybe is not looking so great?
I can't talk about other things, but I'll just focus on groove because those were my days. Guys, groove has gone to the pits. If you were invited to the Groove Arena now, you don't know what
Not
Groove
the
was
Groove
about.
Arena.
No, we used to go to Groove to actually party, not to sit around bottles of champagne and couches and worry about who's wearing what. We just stood there and enjoyed the music. And that's why we actually miss going back there because it doesn't exist anymore.
I think for me it's adulting. Adulting is quite horrible, honestly. it just keeps piling on, man. So I think the reason why we like to look back is when we were carefree, when we were dancing on tables.
We didn't have tax numbers.
We didn't have tax numbers. We didn't have bills. We didn't have designer. It was a great time. Anyway, speaking of Twitter, the detectives and investigators saved the day after this hashtag Euphonik, popped up on my timeline. This comes after the disgraced radio DJ falsified an apology from his rape accuser and shared her personal information online. Cannot believe this. Take a look.
So following her leaked personal information, the alleged victim was inundated with a flood of calls and texts from strangers and has subsequently asked them to stop. However, social media came to her defense with these tweets. This is what Boiti had to say. You are a vile poop. This is not a joke. You are being accused of the most violent crime and you are turning it into a doop and giggle circus. Either confess or let your lawyers handle this. But what you are doing here on Twitter is disgusting.
Fully.
Lebo cemented her argument with this. He's digging his own grave. This is what narcissists do. He's gotten away with so much for so long that he has blatantly brazen attitude towards everything and everyone. His plot to smear her name is only further showing how depraved his mind is. He's unraveling. Love to see it.
Same.
Sure, strong views there. And I mean, we've seen this kind of re-victimization unfold in front of our eyes all the time in public spaces, social media. Think of the likes of Lady Zamar, the likes of Kwezi, Sisi. I mean, this is just to mention a few, all being subjected to this cruelty from rape apologists. And one has to wonder, are we having the right conversations about rape, particularly when it comes to how we protect victims, alleged victims, looking at something like this unfold?
I mean, for me, I think the reason why men want to go on this gaslighting campaign, the smear campaign, is because if they have to admit that this is true and that this is actually, constitutes rape, then they're pretty much going to have to admit that each one of them is probably a rapist. Because I was having a conversation with my friends about, sexual experiences in our 20s, and we came to the realization that a lot of us, because people think rape is just, a knife, violent, but they don't actually realize that there's coercion, there's stealthing, there's in a relationship. And if we admit that we have mostly been raped, then you guys will probably have to admit that you're mostly rapists.
And the thing is, it's shameful, for men to feel that they're a part of this. Whether or not you're a rapist, as a man, I feel ashamed every time I hear about these stories. So there is a big element of shame, and I think that's why a lot of us always want to run away from the discussions and don't want to own up to all these things that are happening in society.
Mo, Twitter has spoken about Euphonik. They've spoken about the whole rape allegations. I just want to ask something. To the guys that actually picked up their phones and called her and were harassing her, what cause are they fighting? I want to know, what is this cause that you're fighting? Because you cannot sit there and tell me that you are fighting for victims of falsified rape allegations. Because the thing is, that's not a thing. It's not a thing. If it is a thing, then bring it to the table and tell us how many men have been victims of false rape allegations, because women can actually come through with a number, and that number is 114. 114 women per day in South Africa report, that's the average, report rape. So I don't know, guys, what are you fighting? Are you There's no cause. The women are coming through and they're telling you about they're within a pandemic and this is their lived experiences. And you are coming there and you are fighting them for hypothetical cases. This whole thing of false rape allegations, it's literally hypothetical, because you can sit with a bunch of guys on this table, Mo. How many of us have been falsely accused of rape? None.
And now the thing that also comes up is, again, the protection and how we go about making sure that victims out there are protected, that they feel safe enough to come forward. Because what you see here from Euphonik, for me, is abuse.
Yeah, straight up.
And you've got to ask yourself, when people start to judge character, what are we looking at here?